Hello everyone, hopefully you're having a nice soiree. For those of you that don't know, I taught there last couple of years. And I'd like to just, do a special little video for Joe Barter, being that he is moving on. We would like to all say farewell to Joe. It's been a good run for Joe, moving on to some big things though. Columbia University, amazing university. New York, I mean, come on now. New York City, it's going to be a great change for you. However, over the last couple of years, I've got to really know Joe, and I think we all know Joe's got a few issues that need dealing with, and I'm concerned about those issues, and I think they play a role in his motives for moving to New York. Where does this suspicion come from? Well, let me just tell you a quick little story. Sometime last year, Joe was having a barbecue. He had the fellas over, as he does. You know exactly who I'm talking about. He was barbecuing up some meats, and I noticed, he wasn't looking very happy. He was telling me about how he had went to the store, and they were out of bacon. Okay? They had beef bacon. He was very upset by this. He was very troubled. As you know, Joe has, some issues with pork. He really, feels for that pig down deep.
Look how he's staring at that little piggy.
And he was distraught over, the fact that he could not find any pork bacon. And I didn't think this was too big of a deal until I, walked around his apartment and I found certain evidence as to just how bad this issue might be. And here you have it. Here we have the first set of evidence that I uncovered in Joe's apartment. A love letter to his dearest, followed by the Joe Barter toolbox that he keeps under his desk. Disturbing, to say the least.
All the years that I've known Joe, I always got that feeling that he was just looking at me as if I was a piece of meat. It was kind of disturbing. It was almost, there would look like there was a look of lust in his eyes. He had that sort of gleam whenever he'd eyed me up. It's disconcerting. I never quite understood it, but it really puts in perspective that time in Mankumi with the naked wrestling. I actually know he was trying to eat me. I now realize that. Now that his pork addiction has come out into the open, I think it's going to be better for him to move on. The wise man once says, let your vice be your slave, not your master.
Hey, Chip, how you doing?
John, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yep.
I just wanted to come in and have a little chat because, Joe's moving on.
Right, he is.
Columbia, going to New York, and it's going to be great to have him around.
Yeah.
But, over the last couple of years, I've just noticed some things about Joe, and I've had some, suspicion as to his motives as to why he's going to New York. I was just a little bit worried.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. And, it's a concern. It's the obsession with pork.
So you knew?
Well, John, it's a long story. Let me just give you a little background. We noticed right after he was born. And of course, we were into as much natural childbirth and breastfeeding as possible, but we noticed that his appetite would really be strange, and he wouldn't eat a lot. Except we noticed that whenever, for example, my wife would have bacon for breakfast, all of a sudden he would be filling himself up. KL, known for the stalls, we had a favorite stall we'd go, and they had the best sweet and sour pork that you could imagine. And sure enough, we'd come home from that, and about halfway through the night, he would breastfeed, and oh my gosh, he would just never leave the bed for hours. So we knew there was something going on, and then we finally switched him over to a bottle, and we found that he wouldn't really drink much unless we saved a little bacon grease and we poured it into the formula.
So this has been going on for a long time.
It's been, and we've been working on it. We moved him to solid food at around two years old or so, or a year and a half. And again, The food would kind of get pushed around, eat a little bit here and there, refuse it a lot. But then when we would take some Jimmy Dean sausage and emulsify it and put it in with the mushed up carrots or whatever it was, oh my gosh, he would just scarf it down. And we thought he might grow out of it, and so we started elementary school, and he would always come home, and teacher would say he would never eat a snack. And so, except every time we put in some pork rinds, he would just scarf them up. So that was a sign. And another sign was that was him growing up was in the Muppet era, and he was in love with the Muppets, as many kids were. But when we watched him we realized all he was doing was replaying the scenes where there was Miss Piggy, and he was kind of just forgetting everything else, Kermit and all that stuff. So we
ingrained in them.
Totally, we don't know where it came from, and again, we were still hoping he'd grow out of it, puberty and all of that, but clearly by high school, it was still a continuous problem. So we decided we only had one chance at this, so we bit the bullet, and we found out about a pork rehab center in Saudi Arabia. And so we sent him to this place not far outside of Mecca, and we sent him to this pork rehab place. Quite expensive, but we just felt like it was important. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out very well. In fact, going back in for one series of sessions, he was caught with a great big 10-pound ham in his pants between his legs. And,
it's not even a true addict.
Well, and of course, he made some bad joke about crotch pot cooking to the security guard, but they didn't think it was very funny. And so basically got kicked out of the school, got kicked out of the country. Lucky he didn't get thrown into jail. So yeah, it's just been, and of course then he went on his own in college, and we've kind of tried to monitor it from afar, but it's a little tough.
Yeah, no.
Well, and Johnny's a good boy. I mean, he's a solid kid, and we really love him, and we know he's gonna be successful, but we remain concerned about this thing, and just wish him all the very best. But because he's a good boy.
Yeah, well, I'll try to keep my eye on him, because I know this has been an issue, and hopefully, he can just keep it together, and all is well.
His mother and I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for giving me some insight. I appreciate it.
Bacon strips. And bacon strips. Bacon strips.
Joe even has his own theme song, and it sounds a little something like this.
Oh, Tanzania, I gotta go. I got a lust for pork, as you might know. It's time for me to follow that bacon grease. It ain't like those other meats. Bacon strips everywhere I see. The dancing New York streets to me. I love that little piggy, she's winking at me. I put it in her mouth, spit roast, you see. A tear rolls down my eye. Pork sausage by my side. Kitty Moto, you'll be missed. Bring on pork, double fist. Shashlik, it just don't do. Bacon explosion, it still holds true. Gotta get back, gotta get back, gotta get back to my pork roots. Pork paradise. I am a slave. I gotta go back to America, the pork brave. Pork paradise. I am a slave. I gotta go back to America, the pork brave. Oh, Tanzania, I got to go. I got a lust for pork, as you might know. Oh, Tanzania, I got to go. I gotta go back to America and be with my pork. Yeah.
You know how much I love that little piggy too. Wee! Wee!